Today I'm going to put together Popin Cookin's Fun Ramen Kit in order to see if it lives up to its name. I don't see a difficulty rating on this one, but I'm betting it'll be somewhere in the middle. Not as many pieces as the Sweets Party or the Chocolate Kit, but it does look like there's going to be a fair bit of technique involved. Kneading, rolling, piping, and so on. As is typical, the cardboard houses another container. This will function as the serving tray, and once we cut it apart, the backside will also be useful. It's not just decoration, there's a guideline on it. We'll get to all that in a second, there's some more trimming to be done first. I'm pretty clumsy and shaky, I'm sure you could do a better job. Do you remember how many packets the box said there were? The stacking here is deceptive. It only looks like there's a couple, but... Dough powder, soup powder, unspecified ingredients, noodle powder, and mango pudding powder. We're also furnished with a little pink trident. This is used both for stirring and prying. We are given a bag to pipe the noodles with. You'll notice the corners are sealed though, which is why we have a toothpick. This is for puncturing. Lastly, if I can keep my hands on it, we have a mold for the mango pudding. But that's not actually all. The tray itself is a tool and must be cut apart. It's always kind of awkward because of the lip around the edge. Not to mention the narrow gaps that are thinner than my scissors blades. I think it's good practice to fully trim the pieces. These are the topping molds. This is the gyoza press. I think this is good enough, but let's go a bit further. There, clean cut and round, and maybe a bit harder to hold on to. Oops. The last piece to trim is the ramen bowl. Little rough around the edges, but I think if I tried to clean it up further I'd go too far. Finally, the real fun can begin, starting with the mango pudding. The instructions call for the mold to be filled halfway up with water, but there's no marker on the mold itself, so we're going to have to eyeball it. My suggestion would be that it's better to go under than over, because once you've added the powder, you can always add a touch more water if necessary. But if you use too much to start with, it'll overflow. We'll cut a convenient opening in the mango powder and carefully add it to the liquid. I really think I'm right about lowballing the liquid level. You might want to use even less water, just to get it started. Once you've poured it all in, you have to stir it, and there is time pressure because it will start to set immediately. I'm going to top it off quickly with just a little bit more, and give it one last stir. Now, you do not have to put this in the fridge, but I find you get better results faster if you do. Next up, gyoza, spring rolls, and ramen topping. These are all done with the same dough packet. This time there is a fill line, so we don't have to guess. Because there's more powder this time, I'm going to cut all the way across the top. Thankfully, because this is going to become more of a paste and not set fully, there's less time pressure. What there is instead is high risk of spillage. My advice is to take your time with this one, until all the water's absorbed. Once it's most of the way there, you just put it in your hands, which should have been washed before you even started. From here you can go crazy on it. It's not even that sticky. It's easier to work with than real dough. Once it's a homogeneous blob, you're good to go. First you take a couple tiny bits for the ramen toppings. Stuff some into the egg mold, leaving a rounded back, and press another piece into the fish cake mold. Excess around the edge is okay, you can clean that up with a knife. Putting these in the fridge will help them get more solid and make the cleanup job easier later. The rest of the dough should be split into 4 equally sized balls. All of these are going to become wonton wrappers. Do you remember the guideline on the back of the packaging? This is what that's for. Don't be shy, squish the ball hard. If it rips, you can just squish it more to fix it. Eventually, as you smush and squeeze, you'll reach the dotted line, and then you're good to go. A fresh wrapper for making a spring roll or gyoza. We're going to start with the gyoza because it looks a bit more finicky. You add a wrapper to the press. Once it's lined up, you press in so that there are pockets for filling. The filling for it is in the packet that was simply labeled ingredients. Add as much as you like, or as much as you feel confident will still allow it to seal. It's kinda cute, they look like meat and veg. And then, prepare for the moment of truth. Squeeze it shut, give it a good press to seal the edges, and voila! That looks pretty good, there's just some excess I want to clean off. Maybe if I squeeze it and pull it off? I pulled off a bunch of the crimp pattern as well. Maybe when you do it, press it, put it in the fridge, and then clean it carefully with a knife. Still looks pretty good for a DIY piece of candy though, if a little bit ragged. Making a spring roll is even simpler. No special device needed. Simply take a wrapper in your hand, apply a streak of filling across the diameter, and then roll it up. To me, it looks a little bit more like an open burrito, but this is what the instructions call for. The final item we have to prepare is the ramen itself. This is one of the most unique Popin cooking dishes. First, you fill the bowl up to the line with water, actually a little bit like when you make instant ramen, except there's nothing in this bowl yet. To this water, you add the soup base. Smells like cola gummies. Don't worry that nothing's happening, this one doesn't set or change texture, you just want all of the powder to dissolve. Once it's a uniform color, you're done. It does look like a shoyu broth. Next, we refill the dough mold from earlier. Give it a quick rinse before doing this. To this, we add the noodle powder. My suggestion here is to work fast, because even though it won't set completely, this one does thicken a bit, and you want it to be evenly mixed by that point. Just go in on it, there's little risk of spilling. Once that's done, no worries, leave it to the side. It thickens but it won't set, so there's no pressure after this point. What we need now is the toothpick, because we are going to stab it through the corner of the bag. This creates the hole we are going to squeeze the noodles through. Next, of course, you stuff it with the noodle dough. No stress here, it doesn't need to be neat and tidy. You're gonna smush it around inside anyway. Just get it in that bag by any means necessary. Give it a squish towards the corner you poked a hole in. Give it a little test just to see it comes out alright. Then, retrieve the egg topping from the fridge. The noodle dough will actually serve as the yolk as well. I think that looks pretty good. And now time for the real fun. You can't go wrong here, just squeeze away. That is just so good. I think this is my favorite Popin cooking result. And now we plate up. We've got our gyoza and spring rolls. We've got our fresh bowl of ramen with its half egg and Naruto topping. Lastly, if you remember from the beginning, we also have dessert. The mango pudding, which is now set but still looks a bit gritty. It won't come out just from shaking, you'll have to use your trident, which if you're careful can be done with minimal damage. Get it on the plate and that's it. We are actually done. It took a while, but here it is. I think it looks pretty darn good and I'm excited to taste it. Because all throughout making it I've been smelling cola and strawberry. This might be the first tasty Popin cooking. We're gonna hit my sloppy gyoza first, which smells like strawberry lemonade. The texture of the dough is kind of gross and soggy and spongy, but it carries a little bit of lemonade flavor, and the micronerds have a strong sour strawberry flavor that totally saves it. This tastes good. The spring rolls are made of the same stuff, but you fill them differently. Because I stuffed them with more of the bits from the ingredients packet, these are even better. Go as heavy as you can. With the starters out of the way, it's time for the main course. The ramen itself, which smells very strongly of cola bottle gummies. Oh. Wow. They actually toughen up. Alright, this is the best Popin cooking I've done. I did their bento set, and the noodles you make in that are just a paste that falls apart. These harden up when they hit the liquid. You can pull them like real ramen. Oh! As you can hear, I was very excited. They are strong enough that you can slurp them like ramen too. The flavor isn't horrible either, just that cola gummy taste I've been smelling. Noodles might have a hint of lemon to them. Texture's kinda weird. Ropey, grainy gummy. Let me put it this way, let me make it crystal clear. As food, it's like a 3. For fun though, this is a perfect 10. It's worth getting, it's worth doing, but not because it's really tasty. It is at least not totally disgusting, like some of the other ones though. Though maybe I've spoken too soon. We do have a mango pudding dessert, which is more in line with other Popin cookings I've made. It looks like it's got that horrendous pulpy texture. Oh, it's grim. The flavor isn't the worst, it's a little bit chemically, but it is clearly mango. But that texture. Did you ever at school have a demo of those crystals that absorb a ton of water? Have you ever played with Orbeez? It's not one piece, it's like a cluster of jelly chunks. All I think when I put it in my mouth is pre-chewed, pre-chewed, pre-chewed. Makes me feel sick. Fortunately though, that's all for this time. There are no more jellies. Would you give this set a spin? If you only do one, I'd recommend this. Let me know down below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more super yummy magic at.